are live. Hello, everyone. Hello. Let me get thoroughly set up here. Okay. All right, guys. I know I say this all the time. I'm going to wait for a couple of people to come into the chat. I say this all the time, but this is going to be a short show. So you guys come on in. I saw some of you guys hanging out, asking when the show was going to start. Hey, Victoria, I saw your comment. We are live. It is Friday, and we are talking about my homeschool update for February. And hopefully I can get through with it, because my sweet little innocent Chewy, he got neutered this morning, 7:30, and he's been on me all day, and I can't leave his side. He only just started, whimpering and kind of crying the last 10 minutes. So he'll determine how far I go into the live. All right, I have a new setup, so it looks like I'm looking up. I need to lower it. Oh, I can't because I have the doggy in my hand. All right, guys, so if I look okay, if you can hear me and see me good, put a 1 in the chat. I can't adjust my cam because I have my puppy in my hand. Okay. Hopefully that's fine. Hey, Muda. All right, hopefully. I'm trying to get closer so it's more personal. All right, that'll have to do. All right, so let me sit back. I gotta move slowly. Okay, so I'm good. Okay, perfect. All right, yay. Hey, Samantha, how are you guys doing? Happy Friday. So I actually have a lot to share with you guys, so I'm just gonna jump right into it. For those of you who are coming in late, catch the replay. This is live, and I've been pretty bad with putting timestamps on my lives. I'm going to dedicate one weekend, and I'm going to go back through all of my past lives and put timestamps, and I'm going to make little short clips that I'm going to upload, so you guys can just get straight to the point instead of watching, a 1, 2, or even a 3-hour live, because we have gone for 3 hours. So what's up, Natty Slim? Okay, so let me jump right into it. So let me see. First of all, if you guys have any questions, let me know and I'll answer those. Okay, I think I might do my monthly updates live. That way, if you have questions about what I'm doing, you can just do it right then on the spot and not have to worry about putting a comment in and waiting for me to reply. Okay, so I'm super jealous of your put together look right now. Girl, listen, you just have to have like 3 go-to things. I have one kind of lipstick that I always wear. It's Butter Gloss from Target, basic eyeliner, and I do my eyebrows. I used to have my eyebrows microbladed and they faded. It's been like 5 years. And a wig or a ponytail or a hat with some hair attached to it, or just something when you're having a bad hair day. And then see, my mom taught me well. I go to the bargain shops around town. I go to where all these super rich fly women drop off their $2,000, $500 blouses and $100 t-shirts, and I pick that up. And so just getting a couple of good little pieces, and that you can wear anytime at a drop of a hat. You can always have your look put together. So, but thank you so much. So for I'm talking up to the sky like I'm talking up to the maker. I want to lower this. Chewy, can I put you down for a second? Just for 1 second? Oh, it's not going to be long. Just 1 second. See, you're good right there. Mommy's going to lower this real quick. Don't move. Just 1 second. All right. Hopefully I can lower this. I bought a new little stand. No, it's not going down. Oh, man. Is that the lowest it will go? Oh, shoot. Okay. That's my hint to not mess around with this live. All right. So that was my laptop, y'all. I'm just going to leave well enough alone. Oh, but it worked. Okay. It worked. it's a little bit lower. All right, cooking with gas. All right, and he stopped whimpering, so maybe he's fine next to my thigh. Okay, so let me see here. All right, I haven't worn makeup in almost 2 years. Darn allergies. I'm looking into less toxic options. You know, they have, I don't know, remember Bare Minerals? But there's a whole line of vegan-friendly cosmetics out there on the line, Samantha. Girl, you better check that out. And you can always go to the cosmetic database. I think it's .com, .org. Some of you, some of my makeup girls, you know what I'm talking about. It's like cosmetic database. And you type in any cosmetic that you want to buy, and it tells you all the bad stuff in it and all the good stuff. And then it gives it, it rates it like by its toxicity level. So like 1, girl, you good. You can eat this if you're in a pinch. To 10, like you're gonna be glowing and missing an arm in 24 hours if you put this on. So you kind of get the range of stuff. What's up, love for all? Oh, thank you guys. Thank you. If y'all saw how I looked about 20 minutes ago, you'd be like, oh, God, magic transformation. All right, so my homeschool update for February. All right. So let me start with the easy stuff where there was no change. That would be, let me do my notes so I don't be repeating myself. So for math, so y'all know my kids, all of my sons, they do math online. I outsource that. I don't want to teach it. I don't want to have anything more to do with that than the occasional looking over the work and stuff like that. So they all do. My youngest two, they do Beast Academy, the actual online class that meets twice a week for about 55 minutes each class. And my oldest one does Mr. D, and that meets once a week. And then he does have a tutor, and that gets him through the week. And he has all his work that he does on his own independently. So for math, nothing has changed. Okay, so that's math. Check. Writing. Okay, so y'all know I was not happy. We use Writing and Rhetoric, which is published by Classical Academic Press. My oldest son, he was on book 4. Wait, this might have been an update for January. But anyway, he was to be going into book 4 a while back, but I jumped him over that because it's all Proverbs and it was really repetitive and I didn't like it. So I started him on book 5, Refutation, Confirmation, I think that's what it's called. And now he's on book 6. And I forget, what is book 6? I think it starts with a C. But anyway, he actually does this on his own. I just look at the writing and we discuss the writing, the elements of the writing, and how can we make this better. So it's really the editing part. So I look at it and we talk about how we can make this stronger. What's wrong with this? Why is this wrong? How can we make this stronger, better? You know, all those kinds of things like that. So that's Writing and Rhetoric for my oldest one. My middle son, my 6th grader, and my oldest one is in 8th grade. My 6th grader is he'll be starting book 5 because he finished 3. We're not doing 4. And we'll be starting book 5 next week in March. And then my youngest one is, he's already in book 3, and we'll just keep plugging along. So what my thing is with Writing and Rhetoric, because I should do it, I'm going to do a video on that book series. Well, I do have one on the first book, The Fables, which we love. But there are 12 books in this whole series, and book 4, a lot of people don't, rock with it. Even families who are Christian based, it's I don't know. I don't think it gives enough writing instruction. I don't know. That's just my opinion. But we skipped that. Now, one change that I did make with the writing is that because the writing, I like the writing is very strong. I like how it really pushes summaries, amplification, and tone and stuff like that. I have something in my mouth. I wanted, I think it's one of his hairs. He got shaved. I would gargle, but I don't want to gargle online. Ugh. Ugh, there's a hair in my mouth. Ugh. And I know I'm making ugly faces. Hold on. Ah, ah. Did I get it? Probably not. Anyway, so y'all know that I like the 6 traits of writing. And so what we did, because we went a little bit slower with writing and rhetoric, I wanted to bring in more of the concrete aspects of writing, and that is organization, how to generate ideals, organization, more of what makes a writing sample good, what makes a writing sample poor, what makes a writing sample great. So we were really looking at lots of different examples of writing using the 6 traits. They provide lots of examples, and with those examples, you learn all of these tangible, concrete terms, so you can take that and apply it to any kind of work that you're looking at or the work that you're generating. So I really like that. So we were working on that, just so as they're doing their writing in the writing and rhetoric book, they can use these tools to help them with their writing. And the good thing about that is that it helps them to become more independent and more of a neutral reviewer of their work. So they can look at their work and know, oh, these 2 sentences, yeah. And then they know why. A lot of times you're like, well, this sucks, but you don't know why what you wrote sucks. Now you know. So we went a little slow with that, and that's fine, totally fine. Let's see. So that was what, writing, check. Okay. Reading. For my oldest, we have been kind of plodding along with Sun Tzu's The Art of War. So we've really gone over 4 of the precepts, because we kind of went off on tangents, watching videos, listening to great speakers talk about it. So I really like that. So I have a feeling we started that book, I think in January or November. I don't even remember, maybe even last year. We went really, really slowly because I wanted him to really take in all of the precepts, and there were like 12. And so I think initially I was thinking we would spend 1 month on each precept. And I think that's kind of what we are doing, but I forgot that we were going to do that. But I guess innately my mind was like, oh, we need a whole month just to focus on that. So we're doing just fine with that. I'm really liking that. Let me tell you, I don't know how many of you invest in the stock market, or if you invest in the cryptocurrency market. But a few weeks back, there was a really big issue with GameStop and AMC, American movie theaters. So there's a lot going on. And I've been investing about 5 years. No, I've had my kids investing the last 5 years, and I go about a year or 2 before them. And so we've had quite a bit of stock in GameStop, and we bought it for like pennies on a dollar. It was like $6 or $7 back in 20. See, Colin was in 5th grade. He's in 8th grade now. So we bought it 3 years ago. And we were just doing like dollar cost averaging, where you just buy, with a certain amount of money, you just buy over a period of time, but you do it at intervals. So maybe you buy stock every week, every 2 weeks, every month or so, but you do at the same time, the same amount over a period of time. It's dollar cost averaging. And it worked well for us, because once you put that money aside for that, you forget about it and you don't think about it. And we were hearing all this stuff going on with GameStop, from Wall Street Bets on the Reddit forum, which I have been on before all of the shenanigans popped off. And we were like, when they saw their portfolio, they were like, oh, Mom, we got to learn more about this, because they were like, they were ready to pull all the money out. I'm like, no, Jack, no, that's not how it works. You take a little bit, maybe, but you have to have a compelling reason for that. So anyway, y'all know I go off on tangents. So we're talking about reading, right? Okay, so Sun Tzu. Y'all help me out. Why was I talking about stocks? Okay, Victoria says, agreed. Helpful with writing academic papers too. Yes. Oh, good. You know about the 6 traits of writing. Yes, I'm definitely going to do a video on that. And actually, I want to do a lesson with that because the 6 traits ecosystem, you have songs, you have videos, you have workbooks, you have the actual, the teacher books, not like a teacher manual, but just, a book for you to learn from. It's a wonderful system out there where you can really get your children very clear on writing. It won't be very abstract and so subjective, and definitely not formulaic. It is a supplement. It's not a full writing curriculum. It is a supplement, but and the books go from K to 12. You use it in college if you need to. But anyway, so how did I get on stocks and bonds? You're talking about the reading. I don't know. So anyway, y'all, how did I get up on this tangent? Y'all help me out. I have no idea why I'm talking about stocks and bonds and crypto. Well, anyway, hopefully it'll come back to me. So, so for reading, oh, I think I was talking about, with Sun Tzu, we were talking about the people that talked about the art of war and going off on tangents like I'm doing now. So for my oldest one for his reading, so we spent a lot of time with Sun Tzu, and then at the beginning of February we had to finish up Fahrenheit 451 because my son, he's read it, but his novel unit study guide from Stacy Lloyd. If you guys don't know about Stacy Lloyd, I did a video on her. She is a seller on teacherspayteachers.com, and she's high school. She makes high school curriculum. Her stuff is amazing. I mean, her work looks like a work of art. I mean, I want to do her work because the layouts are just beautiful. So he hadn't finished that. And it's not enough for me to just read it. I have discussions with him, but I also want him to have his own reference guides for all of these great classics oh, it's okay, baby. I'm sorry. Did I move? Oh, I'm sorry. Come here. Come here. I'm so sorry. I gotta rock him like I did with my little babies, my human babies. So you have all of these. What was I saying? Hold on, Victoria got my back. You were creating a segue on why the kids are reading Sun Tzu. Okay, thank you, Victoria. So, we were. What was I just saying? Oh, my memory is fried. Okay, I'm sorry. So we were reading. Oh, I was on the 6 traits. Okay, so I got off the 6 traits, and okay, so back to Sun Tzu. So, oh no, Fahrenheit. Okay, thank you. So with Fahrenheit, so I want him to have a collection of reference books because when he gets into high school, like officially when he's in high school, it's okay. I'm sorry, did I move too fast? Okay. He was like, girl, can you stop moving your thighs and hips? I was trying to rock him back to sleep. So, anyway, sorry. So I wanted him to have his own reference collection of all of these great works because we go through a lot of novels. And so I wanted him to finish like the last 6 pages. And the questions are a bit, they're really challenging. Okay, I'm sorry. I lower my voice, okay? I lower my voice. I wasn't rubbing his belly. So I wanted him to finish that because he has a nice growing collection. And when he officially starts high school in the fall, I was looking at some of the classes online. Here's another thing. Y'all remind me online classes this week. Type that in, online classes this week, okay? Because I'm going somewhere with that. So when I was looking at these online classes for high school, because I am outsourcing a lot more classes in the fall because my work is picking up, my business is picking up, and I really need to have a couple days a week in the morning where I can dedicate my mornings just to that, and not feel like if I do it my own, I just right now it's starting to become too much of a push and pull on my time. So I want to have solid instruction for the kids, especially in the mornings. The mornings we can knock out a lot of stuff. So I was looking at a lot of these classes like center, like the CLRC online, which is Classical Literature Resource Center, Wilson Hill, and I'll have links. I'm actually going to do a video on a lot of online options for classes, especially because now a lot of these classes have opened up registration this week. That's why I didn't post any videos this week, because I was spending hours and hours researching and reviewing and vetting providers, classes, and teachers. And I've already done that, but that was like 2 years ago. So I really needed to update all my intel. So anyway, so I was seeing a lot of the books that they had to read in these classes that are very heavy loads for reading. I mean, they do the classics, you know, this is classical education. He had read a lot of those books. So I was like, okay, I need you to have all of these resources, all of these study guides. So when you're repeating a book in a class, you know, it's just a refresher for you, and you can look through your notes. You can look at all of these higher order thinking questions, these very analytical, very challenging questions that you sat down and discussed with me. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. So yes, okay, thank you. Online classes for the fall. So what was that? Writing? Okay. Oh, so reading. Okay, so for the younger two, my sixth grader, he's so into Mr. Tourette, and he's on the third book. I think there are 4 books in the series. I'm not going to have him do a novel. I'm not having him do a novel unit study for that book because he did it for the first 2. So, and he's like, Mom, I'm burnt out. So I'm like, okay, you know what? We'll have a new plan. You do a novel study. You do a novel unit study for a book, and then the next book, no, we'll just have verbal oral discussions. And then the next book, you have your packet to do. And then so one on, one off, one on, one off. And he's like, well, I did 2. So I have 2 books off. So he's off. So no writing packets for that. Just a lot of discussions, a lot of questions and things like that I ask him, and we have discussions on that. And then for and we're not doing any classics, because right now he's having such a great time in these stories, and he's making great connections with the kids and the teacher. So we're going to ride that wave. So I'm still able to ask him really compelling questions to make sure, you know, the comprehension is there. He can make inferences and things like that. So we're good on that. And then for the youngest, my 4th grader, we are finishing up the Lemonade War series. What you looking, baby? Are you thirsty? Because you didn't want the water when I had it for you. The Lemonade War series, and then I think he wanted to read the Black Stallion or something like that. I don't know. We're still doing our adventure theme. So I don't know. We'll just once we finish the Lemonade War, we're in the 3rd book. Once we finish that, then I'll see what they want to do. They change all the time, but the one thing they're always into is like adventure and, you know, traveling, things like that. So we'll see. Tell us your top 10 novel studies for middle school. Are they all from Stacey Lloyd and Book Umbrella? Yes and no. So now Stacey Lloyd is high school, but you could definitely scale it down for middle school. And by scaling down, you know, you can help, because number one, if your child is not that familiar with literary elements, you'll want to either pre-teach that or teach them as they go along. So that might take a little bit more time, but definitely a lot of times with those literary elements like alliteration, similes, metaphors, you know, things like that, paradox, a lot of kids can kind of get it. Give them a couple of examples and, you know, kind of keep it moving, or skip that and then move forward and then come back to that later once you've taught that to them. You know, you can have them just do the odd numbers on the page, or you look at the page and pick the easiest questions and just circle those and have your child only do those if they're in middle school. If they're very precocious, give them the packet and say, here, let's have fun with this. Oh, I wonder if he's thirsty. He keeps licking the cone. Are you trying to lick what's going on, baby? You need water? You want some water? Here, let me just put a little something on my finger and see if he licks it. You want some? No? No? Oh, okay. No, he's back. He's doing a Michael Jackson moonwalk away. So I guess he doesn't want any water. He's mad at me too. As if I did a snip on him. Okay, so all right, so that's reading. Okay, that reading. Now, let's move on to history. Now, history has been really, oh wait, online classes. Okay. Oh wait, hold on. There was another question. Your top 10 novel studies for middle school. Victoria, that sounds like a video. Hold on, let me write that down. Top 10 novel studies for middle school. And I'll do it for high school. Heck, I'll even do it for elementary. Okay. So, yes, so you can't go wrong with Stacey Lloyd. She has Animal Farm. No, she doesn't have Animal Farm. She needs to have Animal Farm. She has Lord of the Rings, Macbeth, Othello, Romeo and Juliet, House on Mango Street. What else does she have? Of Mice and Men. Of course, the Fahrenheit 451. Yeah, she's got quite a bit. And then for middle school, I do have another one. Book Umbrella her name is something Gray. I think it's her. No. It's another one. Her last name is Gray. She's on TPT as well. But I'll put that together and I'll show you like the ones I bought and I've actually used. For the younger ones, there's a seller I use for the Magic Treehouse series. And I like it because she makes a generic one. She makes one for the books specifically, and then she makes a generic one that you can use for any book, which I think is fantastic. So I wrote that down. That is definitely a good video to make. Okay, let's see. Do you teach Shakespeare? We're going to get to that. I am also looking for a great vocabulary. What we've used for vocabulary, Muna, wait, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. Online classes. Okay. So if you are interested in online classes for the fall, whether your child is elementary, middle school, or high school. Hold on. Excuse me. If you're interested in those classes, a lot of the registrations for those classes are opening this week. They usually open late February. Definitely in March, you're going to have a lot of the enrollment begins, right? And a lot of times, if you are a current student, you get priority. So when they open the classes up for the rest of the population, you might not, there's, a limited number of slots. So not to put, pressure on you or anything, but especially if you're in middle school or high school, those classes tend to fill up more quickly than elementary. Definitely those high school classes, because those parents really need those classes. And you want to start looking now, because then you're going to start getting into schedules and making sure you don't have schedule conflicts, which is one thing that I was going through with my oldest one. He had 2 classes that I really wanted him to take, but they same time, same day. I'm like, really? So but anyway, and I'll go over what he's going to be taking, what I signed him up for. But yeah, so definitely, you know what, we should probably go live. I'm not making any promises, but maybe this weekend. I do have a full weekend, but if I do jump on this weekend, if not, I'll do it next week. I'll talk about those online classes. You know what? Yeah, hold on. Because it's better if I use my screen, do a screen share, and then I can take you to those providers, and you can see what it looks like. Some providers want you to do an assessment, especially if you're talking about high school. Some don't, but some do. Online classes review. Oh, screen share. Okay, and that way. Now, not everything's going to fill up, but the good teachers, they will fill up pretty quickly. So, but in the meantime, if you just want to get your child, in front of someone else, you're still fine. You still have time to look and see what classes you want them to take, and then see what your budget's looking like, and then, compare everybody. and all that. All right, so answer that question. The top 10 novel studies, I'm going to make a video for that. Shakespeare. Okay. I punked out with Shakespeare, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. Y'all know I did Shakespeare last semester, and it was a big hit. But I realized there was so much more that I wanted to learn, and I didn't have the bandwidth to kind of learn it myself so I can teach the kids. Although we could, learn together because that's what we were doing. But I felt like I was too slow with it. It was taking too much time, and I had other subjects that I wanted to teach. Remember my our last live, we talked about neglected subjects. Well, that was becoming a neglected subject because I just knew I can give them a better experience after the first 2 novels. I just knew I could do more, or they could get more out of it. So I just wanted to introduce them to it and make it a fun introduction to it. And so, and that was great. We did that. And so they have a really great association with their introduction to Shakespeare. Now they're doing a class with online G3, and online G3, they haven't opened up their registration yet. I think their registration opens up March 1st, but don't quote me. I've been using onlineg3.com for years, at least 4 or 5 years. And I think that was my oldest son's second class, online class. So my sons are doing Shakespeare's tragedies, and it's a lot. I mean, it's such a well put together course. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, it would take me forever to put something together like that. Just all the resources, the multimedia resources, the readings, all of that. And it's really, really nice. So I'm really happy with that. I think they might be doing Shakespeare's comedies in the fall. And if so, they're going to be in that. And now that's one class that I don't have to worry about, right? Because we talked about the 3 things to do when you want to teach a lot of stuff and you just can't, is to outsource, especially if it's something that your kids are really interested in, because that means you can have them do it, later on in the day after your homeschool day or on the weekends, and your kids won't grumble because it's something that they like. So there you go. Okay, so I am also looking for a great vocabulary. Mona, you mean vocabulary class or just a curriculum or a book? So for vocabulary, there are only 2 things that I use. Vocabulary Builders, and I want to say it's by Scholastic, and that's just something for them just to do whenever they want to. But for vocabulary, we use Michael Clay Thompson's Caesar's English. There's a lot of Latin in there, which if your child is thinking of taking a standardized test or the GRE or anything like that, Latin is going to help them out tremendously. So I like Caesar's English for that. We are not, since I was not going to put my kids in a Latin class, I think Caesar's English was kind of like the next best thing for my kids. Online G3 teaches Caesar's English. It's Caesar's English 1 and 2, first semester, second semester. So that's something to check out. And if you need more info on that, you guys, just let me know and I'll type it. I'll type the information in the comments. Okay, let's see. Jen says, that's a great idea. I haven't done literature this year so far. It's been neglected. He reads a ton, but no formal study. I found for literature, you don't have to have a formal study. And I'm saying this fresh off of 4 days of research on literature and composition classes, and whether I should have a literature composition combo class or a separate literature class and a separate composition class. But what I found from some of the people talking who I highly regard and they have the credentials, none of them did a formal study for literature. Now, it helps if you know how to ask thought-provoking questions and questions that really stretch their reading comprehension skills. But you can easily find things like that, or you can find something online to print out to help you as you're reading your novels. The only thing I don't like about some literature classes is that your child might not like all the books on the list, which is fine because they might be introduced to something that they think they might not, they think they might not like, and then they end up loving it, right? But my son has read so many. I mean, he's been reading high school novels since 4th or 5th grade. So he's covered quite a bit. And so for us, if I don't find a class, because I have an online math class, an online science class, I'm about to bite the bullet on a composition class. And because for the literature, I'm like, because we've been so thorough with it, I'm like, it's going to be a little redundant. Now, if the literature class was combined with a composition class, which I think those classes are phenomenal, if you can find the right balance, then it's great, because why not write about what you're reading, especially if it's a great classic? Just there's so much, comparative analysis, the persuasiveness. There's so much you can do with a literature, with a combo class, literature and composition. So, I don't know, but don't worry about it being formal. Just grab good books. You can always just Google Newbery Award books, or what's the other one? Newbery and, y'all, what's the other awards book? Your Newbery Award books, and I just forgot. What's the other one, y'all? Where's my phone? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I hit his cone. So just get the list. I actually have the list posted on the side of my bookshelf, but you want to get, and I'll type it in. Okay. Caldecott. Caldecott's more like picture books, and then Newbery, like, I want to say young adult and older, but basically non-pictures. So Newbery, N-E-W-B, is it B-U-R-Y, Newbery Awards, or the Caldecott. Okay. So start with that list. Do Newbery for if your child is older, like 3rd grade and up. Start with Newbery. Well, you can start with any age, really, and then look through the list, and then you can go to Common Sense Media and get like a book review on that book, or you can go to Goodreads.com or .org, and they have phenomenal reviews on the books. They're really broken down very well, and then you can see if that would be a good, if that's something your child would like. Make a list for the school year. If you're thinking about for the next school year, make a list of 10 books, 5 first semester, 5 the next semester. And the reason why I say 5 is out of that 5, you might find one is a dud, the other one you kind of like, but it's too dense, it's just too much. So you got 3 other books, to choose from. And then while you're going through those books, you have time to find some other books to replace, or you can pull from the stash for this next semester. So make a list of 10 books, and then just, whether it's adventure, coming of age, futuristic, a time period piece, some kind of rights, whether it's, civil rights, gay rights, women's rights, any kind of like political kind of slant to it, and that's a genre you might want to focus on. So you have lots of options there. Okay, let's see. Oh, curriculum. Okay, so for curriculum, Muna, I only really know of Caesar's English for vocabulary curriculum. I know there are some online sources. I don't like just memorizing vocabulary. I want to integrate it into what they're doing so it sticks with them, and it's not something they just have to kind of remember, what was that Latin prefix or that suffix, and then, but if any of you guys remember, this is a tribe, we're sharing information. A lot of you people have lots of wisdom to share. So if you guys know of a great vocabulary curriculum outside of Caesar's English, published by Royal Fireside, is Michael Clay Thompson's book. Put it down in the comments and I'll highlight it. Oh yes, oh my gosh, Wordly Wise. No, we used Wordly Wise online. Colin was in 5th grade. My oldest was in 5th grade. And I actually liked Wordly Wise. We actually did quite a few online. we did one that was green. I don't know if you guys remember that one. I just remember it was always green, and it was supposed to really prepare you for your SATs and all of that. Does anybody remember that one? It was online, and like the screen or the elements or the banner or the branding was green. But yes, Worldly Wise, I actually bought the books, some of the books, and then I found out it was online. Excuse me. But Worldly Wise is, I've heard good things about it. I heard some people either they liked it or they didn't, but I thought it was actually fine. But I did that when my son was much younger, and I was just trying it, and I really didn't feel like vocabulary was a priority at that time. But if I had to choose, like for my youngest son, that's probably something that I would choose, because I think it's a gentler way in than Caesar's English. So with Caesar's English, you're reading a lot. But the books are beautiful. Let's see. I did put that online resource blog post together and put my blog link in my IG Linktree bio. Okay, great. So guys, so Pray Love Homeschool. Samantha, can you see if you can put that link in the comment section, and I'll see if I can make that pop up. So guys, so last week we had a lot of resources given, and Samantha from Pray Love Homeschool mentioned, what was it, No Sweat Nature Study or something like that. But you can go to her YouTube channel or her IG. Her IG is, your IG, is it just Pray Love Homeschool without the underscore? Let me just type it in. So you can get that resource, because I know that a lot of you guys don't want to do nature study. Samantha, is it Pray Love Homeschool with no underscores? I don't want to put the wrong thing in. I'm going to put your IG in the chat. Let's see. So let me know, and I'll put it up when you give it to me. And thank you for doing that, guys. Yes, because I still have to put all those resources together and put that out. I don't know if I should do it as a community post or a video. I have some things. Well, let me be quiet. I know where I want to put it. I'm just thinking out loud. All right, from the last slide. Yes. So so Samantha, is it at Pray Love? Okay, cool. I see it. Okay, so guys, so if you want to get the resources that Samantha mentioned in the last live on homeschool subjects that are neglected, check out her IG, and it is Pray Love Homeschool. So check that out. And she's got everything in her link tray. She's got a lot of good resources too, not just nature stuff. Okay, I think it's still hiding my links. All right, can you see the link I put in? I put your IG handle in. Hopefully you can see that. If not, you guys heard it. Or you can go click on, I think you can click on someone's name in the chat. I don't know if it takes you to their YouTube page. Okay, let's see. What book do you use to teach the literary elements? So for that, if you have, okay, if you're, okay, you have like an all-in-one. If you're using a curriculum and you have an all-in-one, you would find that in, because they all kind of have it jumbled all together. I use anchor charts that I've gotten off of TPT, and then I have my old, and it's up there, my old English composition literary book that I've had since college, because sometimes like it really clicked with me, and sometimes, you know, you just, if it's really, really old, you're like, why are people reinventing things like that? I want to say it's by, if you guys remember, Funk and Wagnalls, they were like they still are, publishers on editing, writing and style, things like that. It was from the same publishing house. Here, let me just, I can do, you know what, I'm going to be doing some quick homeschool clips or shorts. Literary, would you ask me? How to teach literary elements. But you know what? It doesn't have to be complicated. Let me tell you, I've actually bought the anchor posters from the dollar store, where it has like 6 to 8 of the elements, and it has a brief little description, but it doesn't give you an example. Now, what I do have for that is in my TPT account, I have one where they have the anchor charts, or 8 by 11. It gives you the literary element, say paradox, and then it gives you the definition of paradox, and then it gives you an example. So you'll see like paradox, seemingly two different things occupying the same space. So you would have a sentence where you see the paradox going on. And that's perfect because you laminate that and pull it out whenever you're going over that element. What I would do, I would have my own teacher binder, and I would divide it by subjects, and I would keep the reference materials in there. So under English, I would have all of those literary elements. I would also have like a cheat sheet where you have all of them on one page, and then have pages of each element by itself. So you just show it to your child, and they're not overwhelmed looking at all of the different elements. Yeah, but keep that in your teacher folder, and then you just pull that out, whenever you need to. But the dollar store, like our 99-cent stores, they have teacher stuff all year round. And I bought 2 or 3 different versions of literary element posters, and they listed all. I bought also the writing process, pre-writing, writing, drafting, all of that stuff. So don't sleep on the dollar store. You know what? That's going to be another video. That's just going to be a live. I'm just going to dollar store posters. And they're pretty detailed. They just don't have the examples to see. So, I should just make my own for you guys, because that wouldn't take really long. First, I'm going to go through my TPT cards, my archive of purchases, and see what they have. And then if it's not something, I could. Do I really want to do that? Anyway, I'll go see what's in my TPT, and then I'll come back to you guys, and you guys can check that out. I would do it right now, but I don't know. Will it show? Oh, I could probably do it right now. So I'll take a quick break in a minute, and I'll try to find that so you guys can find those literary elements. But don't stress over it. You can go on. I would personally just go to YouTube, type in whatever the element is, and then you have something visual and audio, and you can look at that with your child. Say, do you use OutSchool at all for your youngest? I have. As a matter of fact, my son, as we speak, he's in an OutSchool class right now. This is my oldest one. He's in a Dungeons and Dragons. But all my kids, we love OutSchool. And listen. Okay, I had to make sure he was still alive. He was so still. Okay, so I love OutSchool. I think the very first class my youngest took, he was in 3rd grade. It was M&Ms and multiplication. Or no, it was Mummy M&Ms. They did multiplication with M&Ms, and then they did subtraction with Skittles. So just like real fun classes. They were one-off classes, like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and that was it. We've done recurring classes that it's like for a month. Like my son right now, his tutor is through OutSchool, and he's been with that tutor for a year. So you have lots of different ways to use OutSchool, but we love OutSchool, absolutely. I could give you a list of some of our favorite classes and teachers, because that's a good way to either supplement, some of the classes that you don't want to teach, or to give your child a break from just everything else that they're doing. And if your child has never taken an online class before, that's a great transition for them. Absolutely. Let's see. How does Wordly Wise stack up against? I'm sorry. My phone buzzed. Okay, mommy's gonna turn it off. I'm gonna turn it off. I thought I had it on Do Not Disturb. It scared my Pookie. No, don't go. Don't. You can't jump down. You can't jump down. Hold on. Let me put this on Do Not Disturb. See, I was rushing to get on for you guys, And he was just whimpering and crying. And then, okay. All right. Let's see. How does Worldly Wise stack up against Critical Thinking Company's Word Roots? I feel like Word Roots is also a vocab program, but I'm wondering if Worldly Wise is better or worse. Okay, so I actually have Word Roots for the Critical Thinking Company. I have not used it. And Worldly Wise, I still have 1 or 2 books. I have the old ones because they have there's a new version out. I have the really old one. And then we did it online. When we were at a charter homeschool, that was one of the subscriptions. It was Worldly Wise. So I couldn't even tell you, because for that, I was just like, here, I presented the keyboard, the laptop to my son. I was like, go at it, boy. So I can't tell you. Does anyone else know? Does anyone else know? But I can tell you what, from the Critical Thinking Company, it's going to be a lot more challenging than Worldly Wise. If I recall, Worldly Wise, no, I don't even remember. I'm not, I don't want to say anything that I'm not very sure on. But Word Roots, I know when I look through it, because I do have it downstairs, it's no walk in the park. But Worldly Wise, and it could be because it was online, it didn't seem like much would stick when I looked at it. But Critical Thinking Company is just, there's more critical thinking to it. It's not just kind of learning certain sets of words or things like that. So I don't know, but that's a good question. That is definitely a good question. But again, I've only really used Caesar's English with Michael Clay Thompson. And Michael Clay Thompson's, his program is targeted toward gifted kids. And Critical Thinking Company, their market is gifted kids. So they're kind of on par. Worldly Wise, a little bit below, but it doesn't even really matter. It just depends on what's going to stick with your child. So I don't know. So somebody let her know and put us in the know, okay? Because I'm just going to stick with Caesar's English because it's a class and I don't have to teach it or really worry about it. And I can just outsource that. So I don't have that much information because vocabulary is something I prefer to outsource. Let's see. Okay, I hope I answered your question, Muna. Love Michael Clay Thompson, especially the grammar component. Yes, we finished up grammar. See, my youngest one finished up Grammar Island. The middle one, grammar. What's after Grammar Town? Is it Grammar Voyage? So he'll next be going into Word Within the Word in the fall. Word Within the Word. And yeah, I love Michael Clay Thompson. It's a really good, solid program. And for those of you who were asking, I actually mixed Michael Clay Thompson's grammar program with Classical Academic Press's Well-Ordered Language. And the reason why, like what I said last time, was because MCT, Michael Clay Thompson, is more of the whole picture. It's the why of why you're doing grammar, which I think is very important because there's so many rules when you get further on into grammar. And with Michael Clay Thompson, with his approach, I feel like it's almost like that. It's okay. That's Dutchy. It's okay. It's almost like, that adage, if you give a man the fish, he'll fish for a day. Teach him how to fish and he'll fish forever. So with Michael, I feel like if you're doing that program, you understand why this word is put together like this. You'll understand why these words are put together like this. You'll understand the why, so you don't have to remember the formula for why is like that. You just intrinsically know just overall. I hope that makes sense. But there is sentence diagramming, and my youngest son hates that. And my middle son is like, he could do without. So I'm like, okay, I'll just give him a little bit of that. But I wanted them to do more kind of real world application, if you will. And with well-ordered language, there's more practice that makes sense to them, if you will. So So we still do the sentence diagramming, but we don't do it regularly. But the well-ordered language, my boys will grab that in a second, because they're doing what they've learned instead of just languishing over a line with the sentence, with all the parts of speech and everything like that. And don't even talk about the lines like this for sentence diagramming. So we'll see how that goes. See, I'm not familiar with word roots. So critical thinking company, oh, you're talking to T, Victoria? Yeah, they're just think of, like, I don't know if you're familiar with Scholastic. They have vocabulary builders. So they're like, think of Scholastics. They have their books, they're really entertaining looking to me. And they cover lots of different elements that you're trying to learn, whether it's reading or writing, lots of different elements. And with so that's Scholastic. With the critical thinking company, it's not all, I don't want to say it's not fun, but the presentation on the page don't look as enticing as the Scholastic type of or like the vocabulary builders. The vocabulary builders, I mean, it's like puzzles or word grams or whatever. It's like all kinds of different ways to do stuff. And with word roots, it's, to me, looks wise. If I were a child, I would probably gravitate toward the Scholastic version of it versus word roots. I don't know. I don't know. Some kids might like it, but it's sitting on our shelf because I felt like I would have to kind of really work with my child. And I'm like, if I'm going to do this, I'd rather just do a curriculum. And then this could be something, a one-off I can give them to do to just kind of keep it up so they don't lose what they've learned. Because they're not always going to do a vocabulary program. So after like Caesar's English, I haven't, like for my oldest, I didn't have him do any vocabulary after that, but he can definitely pull out one of those word roots. And I'm glad y'all said that, because it's just sitting on my shelf, because I just haven't, vocabulary just hasn't been, it's been neglected. So I'm glad y'all said that, because I need to pull that out. And so that way I can just see, what my son has, retained. Word roots, get off shelf. Get off shelf, give to Colin. Okay. Thank you, guys. That helps. Okay, let's see. How do you get your kids to write? My 4th grader hates it. I don't want him falling behind. Okay, so first off, don't worry about falling behind, because look, you have seniors in high school and their writing is atrocious, but they have a 4.0 somehow, or they're in calculus. You'll see as your child gets older, if they lean toward one side, like a mathy science side or more of a humanities side. There could be a little mix in between, but you'll start to see that. My youngest hated writing. Y'all watch my story, my video. I talked about that, where I talked about we finally found a writing program, and I went through a lot. I even had him in a class, which was it was amazing. It was like a one-on-one class, because no one showed up. So it was almost like, it was just like free tutoring for the whole semester, and he loved it. But I think I have 2, oh, you know what? Oh my goodness. It's called Adventures in Writing. I used this with, I think, my middle son, who's on the spectrum, and writing, I knew was with the abstractness might be a struggle for him. So I started him off with Adventures in Writing. There are 4 books. And it looks like a comic book. I mean, not with all the panels, but it's like fully illustrated. Hold on. Oh, I definitely have to make a video on that, because I remember he was at a charter home. We were at our charter homeschool, and he was like not feeling what they were doing in class. And they were also using the 6 traits, but the actual curriculum was like horrible, but she was on point with the traits. So I was like, I gotta find something. And I knew I needed it to be fun and not some textbook where you're none of that. And it was a hit. It's called Adventures and writing. I'm going to try to pull it up on my phone. And there are 4 books, and one does narrative, the other, I forget. But how it's broken down, it's amazing. And your child can get a story together in almost a day because you don't feel like you're writing. And remember, if your child in 4th grade, they're still kind of young. So it could be they might actually like writing, but developmentally, they might not be ready for it. Like, meaning with my child, his writing stamina was low. So he would barely write one sentence, and he was tired. So, so sometimes it might be the writing issue. Writing is really complex. Number one, you have to generate the ideas and then somehow express that idea onto paper and then write it while still remembering that idea. And you have to make sense out of it. And if they're shaky in phonics or in reading, then there is decoding. There's a lot going on with writing. So for the 4th grader, I'm going to definitely, you know what, I should just go on live this weekend and just the stuff we're talking here, just show you guys so you can get going with this quickly, okay? But I think that would be great. The books are on Amazon. Let me see if I can find it. And you can get going right away. And the books are really thin. They look like highlight books, but just a little sturdier. Let me try to pull that up. That was a hit. Okay, let me go into Amazon. Adventures in Writing. Adventures. I got to type with one hand because Chewy's on my lap. Adventures in Writing. Hopefully that pulls up because it sounds like a generic kind of title. Okay, where's my husband texting me? Hold on, I'm getting the text. How am I getting the text when I have this on Do Not Disturb? Okay, good. He answered for somebody. Okay, so Adventures in Writing. Let me see if this comes up. I might have to, no, it's not showing up. I'm going to have to go get it. Oh, it's not showing up. Okay, so maybe that was just one of the titles, but that's not the name of the series. I'll find that for you, Sarah. I have it written down. Adventures in Writing. I have that written down. Victoria, yes, Caldecott. So you have your 2 list of entities or organizations that give the highest honors or awards to books every year. And Caldecott is for like your younger set of books. Usually they're picture books. And then you have your Newbery books that really don't have pictures in it. A little bit older, I would say like 3rd grade and up. But those are your 2. Wait, am I behind in the comments? Top 10 novel studies for middle school. I think we talked about that. Let's see. I'm just trying to get through the rest of this. Okay. Oh, guys, I'm really behind with the comments. Hold on. Let me get closer. Hold on. I was just talking. Y'all were just typing. Okay. Okay, we have Caesar's English, Wordly Wise, and CTCS Word Roots. That's Critical Thinking Company. Yes, thank you guys. The green one is 6th grade for Wordly Wise. Okay, thank you. Gosh, my brain, sometimes I'm like, can I just stop looking at curriculum? Because, you know, it's too much. Fixed Grammar has vocabulary mixed in it, I believe. Does it? Because I have Fixed Grammar, and I liked Fixed Grammar because it will take a very interesting passage and you do the grammar from that passage. I actually liked it. I don't know why I stopped because it got neglected. I don't know why I stopped, but I like, because, you know, I like a story-based approach. But back then when I was using it, I didn't know we like story-based approaches. So yeah, don't be a curriculum hopper like me. I know the grass is always greener on the other side, but yeah, I like Fixed Grammar. Michael Clay Thompson is Red Ink Press. Michael Clay Thompson is Royal Fireside. Royal Fireside. Let me get that for you exactly. Hold on, I have it bookmarked. Oh, well, if I can type it in correctly. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Okay, so I'm going to Oh. Chewy, can I put you down for a second? Oh my God, I keep typing. First of all, y'all, I have big, wide fingernails. And for some, it looks nice, but I actually touch two keys. All right. Royal Fireworks Press. That's Michael Clay Thompson's company, Royal Fireworks Press. It's a little red, little 1930s buggy or some old looking car. Okay, let's see. I think it's still hiding my links. Your links are not showing up. Let me Google that after the live. Links hiding in chat, because I'm trying to see if there's something I can do to make that visible. I don't know. I'll look into that though. Pray love. Video of the resources, please. Okay, yes, we'll be doing that. And did you mean Strunk and White for literary elements? So with Strunk and White, you have the elements of style. But I don't know what grade level you're talking about for your child. So I brought that up because my oldest one is going into high school. And actually that's on one of his lists in his literary class. But for your younger ones, for middle school and elementary, what I actually do, because they all have binders, and I make a cheat sheet that goes at the front of the binder, you know, the little clear plastic at the very front of the binder, the cover. And I put a cheat sheet there. Excuse me, guys. And I have it for math and I have it for English. And for math, I have all the little concepts for that grade year that they, you know, as a refresher, like for measurements, you know, fractions, just different things like that. So if they forget something, they can just quickly turn to the front of their folder and just refresh what that rule is or what that thing meant. For writing, I have the same thing, but as we go along. But I do have a cheat sheet where I have the elements, and then I have parts of speech, because sometimes they forget. So all those little things. So if they're doing something, they can just kind of go back really quickly, and it keeps them from making an excuse because they can't find something. It's like, no, it was right there at the front of the book. And I have the most commonly, like, either misspelled words or confused meanings or whatever. And I put that all on one cheat sheet in the front of their folder. And it helps cut down on the, Mom, what does this mean? Or where can I find? It cuts down on all of that chatter. What do you think about dividing subjects between days for kinder and first grade? For example, English, reading, and math for 2 days, and then writing and other subjects the other days. Sounds a little bit like block, if you're going to block scheduling, where you do certain subjects certain days, and other subjects the other days. English, reading, and math for 2 days, and then writing and other subjects the other days. For math, the only thing is for kinder and first grade, they need to be reading every day. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Reading every day, even if it's 10 minutes, you know, preferably a minimum of 30 minutes. But I would definitely do reading every day. And listen, it doesn't have to be at kinder and first grade. You're not spending that much time with them on a subject. Their attention span is actually quite short. So if you get 15 minutes in with reading, for English, well, for writing, with writing, it's a lot going on with your youngers, right? So that could be 15, 20 minutes there, okay, depending on what you're teaching. Kinder and first, they're also, you know, learning their ABCs, they're learning how to write, you know, maybe they're learning cursive too at the same time. So I would focus more on trying to cover those basics, reading, writing, and math every day, but in smaller chunks. Because remember, it's almost like compound interest or dollar cost averaging. You just do a little bit, but you're consistent with that over time. Like when I taught English in Japan, I saw with my families, it's not like they're super brainy, smart kids. They have a routine and they are consistent with that. And the routine is so simple so they can be consistent with it. So you do every day 10, 15, or 10, either 10, 15, or 20 minutes. Excuse me. I would start with perhaps 15 minutes. And then the following week, add 1 more minute. And then the next week, add 1 more minute. So at the end of the month, you're up to 20 minutes. And then you can add more. So it's a numbers game. I know in some states you're required to teach a subject for a certain amount of time. That's based on the classroom model, right? You got teachers who have to differentiate between different kids' learning abilities. You have, behavior issues, then having to explain the assignment and then, walk around and make sure, the kids are getting that. So that's a classroom time, that suggestion. So with your child, you can do less, okay? Now, if you have to report stuff, make sure you're in compliance with your state. But I'm saying if you're going to start, I would definitely do the reading and the math and the writing every day, and then the other subjects twice a day. And that would be your history, your science, social studies. Do those. I'm sorry, am I moving too much? I would do those twice a week. That could be your block schedule. Tuesdays, Thursdays. This is just a suggestion. Tuesdays and Thursdays, you can do your history, science, social studies, and then Monday through Friday, your reading, writing, and math. If one of those subjects is an issue for your child, don't cut out a day, cut down the time, okay? And build confidence in them, okay? And actually, what do they say? Undervalue, overperform, or under promise, over deliver. So you say, hey, you know what? Let's just have 10 minutes of math, okay? And you must really be thirsty. And then, they're doing their math, and it's 10 minutes doesn't seem like a lot, right? So maybe, or you just say, hey, we're only going to do the top part of this worksheet, or we're only going to read 5 pages in this book, and we alternate reading. You read page 1, I read page 2, or we alternate paragraphs if your child is a struggling reader. I'll do the first paragraph, you do the next paragraph, or you do the first paragraph and I do the rest, and then we turn the page, and then you do the first paragraph on each page, and mom will read the rest. So you just break it up in little chunks, but you want to just keep it being consistent, because if you have too much of a layoff from that subject, you're almost starting over again, especially at that age group. So mom, reading, writing, math every day, but just do it in smaller chunks, okay? You're going to get to the end of the finish line. Just be slower, but you're finishing, and that's what we want. And we want to finish where your child has good confidence. They're very confident in what they've learned, and they're happy. They have they have a very happy or good association with each of those subjects. So we don't want them saying, oh, I'm just no good at math, or I don't like writing. We want to dispel that by just giving them just a little bit each time and then building up that confidence. Let's see. Yes, I think kids would benefit from a literary workshop on recognition or memorization of literary elements and figurative language. You know what? Especially going into middle school and definitely high school, and if your child is thinking of going to a selective liberal arts college, or if they are really into majors or classes that are heavy with literary, just literature, just your humanities, basically, that literary element and figurative language, all of that is always going to be around them, and heavy. So learning that early is great. Like, you can just focus on one element a month, and by the end of the year, they are rock solid with their literary elements or figurative language, all of that. So remember, it's a long game, unless you're a COVID homeschooler and you're just waiting until things settle down and you're putting your kid back in the public school. But if you're in it to homeschool, then you can take that approach, and even at a young age, your kids can really learn those elements, and at least the easier ones, and and every year you build on that, okay? And they'll be really solid on that. It's like a slow drip, just a little slow drip, okay? I have 5 children, 6 and under. Girl, salute. And it can take me all day to homeschool sometimes. So I'm trying to figure out a way to get homeschooling done in the midst of all the chaos. Okay, so first of all, give yourself a lot of slack and grace, because 5 children, 6 and under, so that's kinder and pre-K and toddler and baby and crawler and all of that, assuming. That's a lot. So if you're homeschooling your 6 and 5, maybe you have a 5-year-old, or I don't know the age differences, but so, say at least a kinder or firstie, homeschooling can be done in a few hours. It really can. The other ones, watch my video on homeschooling multiple kids and 6 easy steps. I give you specific tools to have around the house so you can juggle all of that chaos that's going on. But the main thing is with your kinder or your firstie is short burst, right? And a lot of hands-on stuff, because we want to, and if you have a routine with them, after a while, kids get used to the routine, and then they can kind of do things on their own, even at that young of an age, right? You know, we did Montessori when my kids were pre-K, and so you teach them, they can get their breakfast, they make their breakfast in the morning, all of that stuff. So kids have the proclivities to be able to do more than what we give them credit for. So for your 6-year-old, you pick, maybe there are 5 subjects that you want to teach for the week, okay? And you choose maybe 1 or 2 subjects that you want to really focus on to get that child to be a little bit independent in, okay? Maybe if it's reading, if they're not a struggling reader, if they're an okay reader, you know, you can have them start to read more pages or for more time, right? And then for math, you can, what you want to do, it's going to be a lot of prep work to have everything ready to go at a moment's notice. Because when you're working with your kinder or first grader, you know something's going to happen with the other 4 or 5 kids going on, so that your attention is going to be pulled away. So if you have something that your child is familiar with, they know the routine, they know how it works, then you can have your child work on that while you go work with the other kids. You know, go get them, you know, the goldfish, the cheese cubes, or change a diaper or whatever. Now, one thing I recommend, TPT, and this was a godsend for me, is Annie Moffat of the Moffat Girls. I know a lot of you guys know about the Moffat Girls. She has the most amazing worksheets, but they are so fun to do. If you go to teacherspayteachers.com, it's the Moffat Girls, Moffat, the Moffat Girls. She has packets for the whole year, for the month, for the week, you name it. And a lot of it is fun. And a lot of it, you know, it's not just busy work, but it will keep your child engaged. And I would have a binder for your child. And in that binder, you have instructions for how to do everything. The first thing they do, and then when they're done with that, this is the next thing they do. Excuse me. You know, this is a snack time. Oh my gosh, you know what? This is what I did. Because my child, all my children are visual, but with my child on the spectrum, I had to have picture cards. So he could see exactly he needed to see everything that was going on. But that worked for the whole family. So I would have, okay, a picture of a math book, or I would have like little symbols. And then the next subject would be reading. So it would be a picture of a book. And then after that, it would be 10 for a 10-minute break. So he would take a 10-minute break. And next to that little, and I had pictures of that. Oh, so much. I might have to do a live every day. Next to the 10, where it said 10-minute break, was what that break was. And we would decide beforehand what those breaks were. It was either play with a toy, play with some Legos or some Play-Doh, but for 10 minutes, and have a timer. And then after that, you have the next subject. So if it's the same routine, the same subjects, the same order, the break, what they do during the break can change, but they get used to that. They can go on autopilot. So when you're pulled away, they know, okay, I'm done with math. Now I go to this, and I go to this page, because everything is in this binder laid out, or you can just put it, you can just, piece of paper, you just write it out. This book, page numbers, or take little stickies and put it in the book. So all the child has to do is just open the book to where that sticky is, and you write start and then stop where you want them to stop, all of that. Look through. If there are any hard problems, you can circle that. Maybe put a little smiley face to let them know, oh, this might be a difficult one. Don't put a frown. Put a smiley face to see if they attempt it. But you want to build in some self-efficiency in the house. You want a workflow system. So that's one thing that you can do. But don't worry about it. That age is so easy. It's so easy. You might decide to homeschool. I don't know if your children are napping, and I don't know if all the children are napping, but that first or kinder, do it in breaks where, okay, we're going to do 2 subjects and then we go play, and then we'll come back and do 2 subjects, or 1 subject, take a 20-minute break. Let me go work with these kids. And then during that break time, give them something constructive to do. They can do some craft work or some drawings or build with Legos. You can just find something for them to do. So just start with that. Let me know how that goes, okay? Y'all have any suggestions for Precious Turquoise? Are you coming up with something for people like me? What do you mean, people like me? A guide to literature and composition studies. I intend to be distracted and going too deep, and it ends up too long and boring. So a guide to literature and composition studies, do you mean like classes, or I'm not sure what you mean. A guide to literature and composition studies. So something like for 8th grade or 9th grade, like a curriculum where I would say something like, okay, well, we're going to read these 5 books. Okay, so for me, a really good lit and comp class will have it will have 3 varieties. You're going to have your novels, you're going to have your short stories, and you're going to have poetry. And so for that, and then that's really for your lit side. And then for the comp side, ideally, because you're doing a lot of reading of great works, you want to base the writing off of those books. And those books are books that your children have approved that they really want to read. That's how you get that instant buy-in. So if you mean like a guide for that, I could put something together. Like, I kind of do things loosely, bootleg. And I've been actually working on curriculum to put out for you guys, well, just for the public in general. But y'all, if y'all saw, I have all these books. It's just so much. I need to clone myself. I'm going to figure something out. But if I had like 100 people who were interested in a guide to lit and composition studies, I could definitely put something together, because that's like, after history, that's like my favorite 2 subjects to study. I'm not going to be teaching it though, because it does take time, because I get really involved because I'm really into the books and I want the unabridged versions, and then the writing. My kids don't like me to really teach writing because I'm really hard on them, and I try not to be, but I'm just demanding. And so they would rather do demanding stuff from somebody that's not mama, because I'm like, nah, I know this, but I'm nice about it. But they're like, no, Mom, we just do science and history. So, but let me know if I answer your question on that. Okay. Because it doesn't have to be boring. If you're picking books that your child is interested in, pull up some books online and have them read the excerpt or read it to them and see if they think that that's something they would be interested in. If they're the kind of child that's like, they don't like to read, they say no, then I would find high interest, like adventures. I mean, a lot of action that just pulls them in. And the story has to have a movie component to it. And it's good if it has more than one movie, because then you can do all kinds of comparisons between the movie and the book. But sometimes you have to Jedi mind trick your child into doing some of the work. Do you have a preference for a supplemental workbook? Spectrum, DK, Evermore, Harcourt. There are so many brands. All depends on what you're trying to supplement. Oh my goodness. Am I too loud? What's going on, baby? It depends on what you're trying to supplement. Now, if you were trying to supplement for, okay, I'll take Evermore. I have about 50 Evermore books, and I'm not joking. I shouldn't. But Evan Moore for me is a great supplement and a great way to, Evan Moore is like my all-purpose workbook. You can use it for a pre-assessment, a summative or post-assessment, busy work. You know, if you're on the go, you just grab that little book, have your child work it. You know, say your child has a basketball game, football game, dance, or whatever, any kind of practice, and you have to, you know, lug your other kids. You lug your kids and Evan Moore. And because I use that a lot because my kids all have activities, tournaments, all that stuff. And it's really easy for them to work independently with those books. And Evan Moore covers all subjects. That's how we got through with geography, because it's very solid. And I would get the PDF version to just print it out for each kid, because Evan Moore books are not cheap. You know, like 20 plus bucks, like 25, 20, sometimes I think I paid $27 for a book. But for that, I would say, yes, that's great for a supplement. Now, the DK books, I love DK books. DK books are great if you're doing unit studies, because there are several different kinds of DK books. But for the main general DK books, because you have DK Eyewitness and stuff like that, if you're doing a unit study and you want to say you want to do a unit study for a month and you want to do it on ocean life or space, you get a good DK book on space and then look at the table of contents, and each chapter could be a week study or a component. I think you're thirsty. I might have to wrap this up in a minute, guys, because you're just looking. I tried to give you water and you said no, and that's okay because you're just confused and tired. Okay. All right. Let me see. Let me see if I can get him to go back to sleep. So Spectrum. I actually have one or two Spectrum math books. I don't know why. But for a supplement for math, number one, I did not like Kumon. I have a whole bunch of Kumon. I might do a giveaway because I never cracked them open, and I don't even know why I wasted my money buying them. But for some people, they love it. But for Spectrum, I think Spectrum is kind of hit or miss. So it just depends. If you're trying to supplement for math, there are better options out there. Depends, like, you know, maybe. Okay, what's going on? It depends. There are better options. I like Keys too for like 4th grade and up as a supplement. Harcourt. Okay, I'll put you down. Okay, you okay? Oh, he just hit his head on the fan. I'm sorry, you got that cone on. You can't move around like that. I'm sorry though. Okay. What was I saying? Harcourt. When I think of Harcourt, I don't really see it as a supplement because, you know, it is a publisher. So I see it more as a full curriculum. I haven't really seen, well, I take that back because I think they put out some stuff. Yeah, I'm just not familiar with supplements for Harcourt. I'm more familiar with just their full-blown curriculum. But for supplements, hands down, Evan Moore, absolutely. Scholastic's pretty great. Okay, here, I got you. Those are great supplements. Evan Moore, hands down the best. You can cover all subjects. And the good thing about Evan Moore is if you look at the beginning of the book, they have a scope and sequence. Do I have an Evan Moore around here? There's a scope and sequence, and it should, like for reading, it will go over all the standards that will be covered for that year for those 36 weeks. And it's great as a supplement because if you're doing literary elements, right? And your child is, you know, maybe struggling with metaphors, you can turn to Evan Moore and look for it. Or Scholastic, they have things broken up like that, not quite as extensive as Evan Moore. And Evan Moore is like a week at a time. So not a week at a time, but the way the layout is, you do 1 page a day, and it tells you week 1, day 1, week 1, day 2, week 1, day 3. Then you go to week 2, day 1. So it's really easy to stay on course, and it's there's a nice order to it. I find that the Scholastic books, they jump back and forth. So definitely Evan Moore, hands down for a supplement. See, unfortunately, I'm not familiar with word roots, but like you, I use Michael Clay Thompson to build words, but wordly wise to increase my daughter's vocabulary and use those words in context. Yes. So if you can use more than one source, do it. It's like cross training your brain, right? So, if you're a football player, they tell you, run track, play baseball or basketball or row or do some other kind of sport. So you're not overusing those muscles and you're working your muscles in different ways, which can help you back in your original sport. So, cross train with academics. So I like that. Junior analytical grammar is an excellent start for 6th grade and up. I've heard of analytical grammar, but not junior analytical grammar. I'll have to look that up. Hey, Aaron, good to see you. Hey, looks like I caught the end. Yeah, we've been going for quite a bit. But I'm going to probably pop on this weekend, Aaron, just to go over some resources because I know, it's planning for a number of families. It's planning season for the fall. And I want to put out some of these resources so people can start looking at them and making decisions about what they want to do for the fall. Yeah, and Erin loves anything critical thinking. She's a CTC girl. Amen, Erin. I'm with you on that CTC. Yes, CTC is definitely the truth. Let's see. What? Somebody gave me some money? What? I never received money in the chat. I didn't even know it was on. Who is that? Oh, More Than Homemaking. Girl, what is your name? Because I see your picture all the time. If you want to tell me your name, otherwise I'll just call you More Than Homemaking. But thank you so much. You didn't want to ask a question or anything? You just given me $20. Oh, I'll take it. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Y'all, I feel verified now. I made a buck. All right, let me see. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Do you have any? Wait, am I behind? Oh, y'all, I'm behind. Hold on. Okay, let me go through these. Y'all don't let me keep talking forever. I'm behind in the comments. Big time. Oh, man. Okay. Anything to us English language learners? English as a second language? Is that what you mean, Mona? Are you looking for something for ESL? You say anything to us English language learners? Let me know. Clarify that for me. How does junior analytical grammar stack up against grammar for the well-trained mind? What is grammar for the well-trained mind? What do they use for well-trained mind, the grammar? I don't think I liked it, but I don't remember what they suggested. I don't remember. But let me know. As a matter of fact, I have both of the Well-Trained Mind books in my handbag over there, the 3rd edition and the 4th edition, because I was looking at stuff for the fall, and so I was looking back at things for English, for lit and composition in Susan's book. I'm finally getting IEW for writing. I've been holding off for years because of price, but I'm ready to give it a shot. Let me know how you like that, and let me know which one you're using. We did the student intensive with my oldest back in the day, and it didn't go so well. But I know it could be a home run for a lot of people. And then, which child, what age, what grade, what child is using that, Aaron? What grade is that child in? But yeah, IEW can get pricey, and sometimes you can score a deal on eBay or on these little resale sites like on Facebook. Yes, video, please. Okay, yes, we're doing videos. I've never used the Well-Trained Mind, but my son did understand grammar until we tried junior analytical grammar from, it's from Demi? Okay, because Demi does Matthew C. Okay, I'm sorry. So, okay, so I like Matthew C. So I wonder if it's a very visual, the junior one, if it's, how Matthew C is very visual and stuff like that. But yeah, Demi, I bought our blocks, the big wooden blocks that they custom make. I bought that from Demi. All right, Samantha, that's the people that do the math. Okay, yeah, it's people that do the math you see, Demi. Yeah. I use IEW for writing and Brave Writer. They are two opposite ends of the spectrum, definitely, because Brave Writer is very creative and IEW is more academic, more formulaic. I love IEW and it's great on its own, but I am using Brave Writer for the creative side of things. Okay, I'm doing something wrong. Hold on, let me put my puppy, my doggy, with the boys. Hold on, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna put you over here, okay? Because I know Colin's done. Who wants to cuddle with Chewy? Somebody come cuddle with Chewy, please. And it has to be soaked in water. So tell Dad, give him a half cup because he needs to have half his food, and then soak the food in water. Okay, so tell Dad. All right, thank you, love. Okay, sorry about that, guys. All right, now I can really get through this. Okay, let's see. Okay, you're welcome, Sarah. I love the Newberry list. They have a lot of sad stories, though. Yes. So, yeah, a lot of sad stuff that will wreck you for the whole week or a month. They partnered with the Grammar Creator's daughter to distribute it and make it easier to use. Okay, you're probably talking about the Junior Analytical. Hello, Monument Mom. I am very late to the party. That's okay. Catch the replay. I'll probably be on live this weekend. Let's see. Aaron, what about writing and rhetoric? My goodness. What about writing and rhetoric? I want Nikki to do a master comparison video between writing and rhetoric, lost tools of writing, IEW, and Write Shop. That would be a beast of a comparison video. Let me take a screenshot of that because I'm looking for a writing class for my oldest one. Oh, look, y'all seeing how junky my place is. And that one. Okay, so the lost tools of writing. There's a class that teaches the lost tools of writing. Dorothy Sayer, and it's an online class. I just looked at it today, and it wasn't through Classical Learning Resource Center. It's like a smaller platform. It wasn't like Wilson Hill or Lukion, or it wasn't those big massive places. But yeah, I just saw that and I was like, oh my gosh, that's interesting. So I might have to check that out. But yes, T, that would be a masterpiece of a video. I've searched high and low, and those 4 seem to be the most comprehensive programs for writing. Which ones? Oh, the ones you just listed? Okay, yeah. My issue is they all bring something unique to the table. I wish they would have a baby and I could just use that one program. Girl, that is our dilemma. Like Aaron and I have talked about that. That's why we're eclectic homeschoolers, because we pull from so many different curriculum. That's why we're hoppers, because they do all need to just have babies, not twins, but just one baby, and put everything together, because I never get everything that I want in one curriculum. Okay, I'm super anxious for your website. Can't wait to have your site with some of your resources as a go-to guide at my fingertips. Thank you for saying that, because I built my website from scratch, and then I was teaching my son, so it took forever. And I'm like, dude, let me just get this launched. But my website is up, but I have some pages that are not done yet. I have some coming soons that have been like coming soon for like 6-7 months. So yeah, I need to get going with that, guys. I promise I'm going to take off sometime, maybe in March. And I need to work more on that business side, because I have two drop shipping websites that make me money. So that homeschoollife.com, I just haven't really pushed, but I'm going to start putting more products on there. Now that my kids are making money, they're like, come on, Mom, come on. And I'm like, well, you don't have to cook and teach. You just eat and be learned. You be taught. So chill out. That's what I say to my kids. All right, let's see. You could also use unit studies to include several of those subjects. Absolutely. Unit studies are great for that. I like the idea of writing and rhetoric, but it's very teacher intensive. It's not too teacher intensive. I'll walk that back in a second. So my oldest one, he can do it on his own. He does that independently. But my 4th grader, when he was in 3rd grade, he started. And yes, it was teacher intensive because he was a reluctant writer. But there is a definite routine with WR. And if you use that routine where you say Mondays we do this, Tuesdays we do this, Wednesdays, you can slowly build independence with your child. And then all they really need you for is the narration and the dictation. And then, occasionally for explaining like some of the writing. But once they've been doing that writing, they can, a couple lessons they can absolutely do on their own. Now, my child, the youngest one, who was the writing headache child, I shouldn't say that, but he was a headache. That worked for us. And now he can whip that bad boy out and knock it out. And then, I still help him, but overall he can pretty much do it on his own. I'm looking into the IEW student structure and style because of the video-based lessons. My time is low. See, I did that, Aaron. I did the IEW student structure. I think I still have the videos, but the books I gave away. My son, first of all, he didn't like how Andrew Padua, the one who teaches, he didn't like how he looked. Sorry, Andrew. And because he was so used to all of his other classes or games being really slick, he thought it was too old looking. So it was initially a turnoff, but it just it wasn't a good fit. But I thought it would be a good fit for my middle son because he's very logical and he just wants but we had already done something else. But yeah, it's definitely a hit with a lot of kids or a miss with a lot of kids. You just have to find that sweet spot. Hey, baby.
Hello?
Oh, is he crying?
No, but do I take off his comb when he's eating?
Oh, is he trying to eat?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's the thing. If you take it off, do you know how to take it off? I'll have to show you if you don't. Okay, so give me about 10 more minutes because when you take it off, you have to watch him religiously to make sure. Okay. Yeah, because that cone's a little long. He's not going to be able to eat with that cone on. So give me about 10 minutes and then we'll get him some food. But go ahead. Right. So just take a little bit of the kibbles and just
a little bit and soak it. I'm already doing that.
Oh, okay. Thank you, baby. All right. Okay. Okay. Let me flow through these. Okay. I like the idea as well. I would love if all my favorite programs could come together as one. Mm-hmm. That's a unicorn. That's a unicorn. Okay. Let me go through these. I'm doing a review of student structure and style, the IEW, next week on my IGTV. Okay, guys. So Samantha, go and follow her on Instagram. She is Pray Love Homeschool. She is doing a review of IEW's, what is it, student structure and style? I forget what it's called. But she's doing a review on a writing curriculum. The student structure and style, yes. So go check that out. Okay, my daughter struggles with picking up on small inferences in literature. What sources would you suggest? She's a whiz at nonfiction reading and can comprehend fiction, but I'm worried about this issue. Inferences is very hard. It's probably one of the hardest elements to learn with reading. Now, I have, sorry, my lips are dry. I have, I don't know if you guys heard of Super Duper Teachers, whatever. They a lot of therapists use their resources, but they have it's a metal container. It's a flip top, and it has cards in it, like a deck of cards, and it's strictly on inferences. The Critical Thinking Company has Lord, yeah, I'm gonna have to come on here Saturday. The Critical Thinking Company has a workbook on inferences. As a matter of fact, I think it's like it doesn't say detective on it, but it is, I think there's a detective on the cover of the book. Where's my pencil? I'm just losing all my writing utensils. Okay, wait, what did I say? Inferences. Yes, that worked magic with my middle son. Inferences. Metal container. Okay. And CTC. Yes, because inferences is really, really hard. It's a lot of interpretation, a lot of sometimes some background information. So it's hard. So I hear you on that, and I do have a resource to share with you. It's portable. The cards are very colorful, and it really gives you great examples for the child to use and to get the ball rolling with them, getting that thought process going. It's like exercise. When you first start exercising, you're sore, you don't know where to put your hands or your body, you know, and then are you doing it right? Are you lifting it, or, you know, you don't know until you put the reps in, you do it over and over. It's the same thing with inferences. After a while, they'll start to find their way with how their thought process is, and they can start making more accurate inferences. So yes, Victoria. Yeah, don't worry about that. I'm definitely going to give you guys a source on that. Would you have a video on YouTube? Which one, Muna? That's good to know. It's doable without the teacher, whatever. That price point is already stretching me a bit, but it does seem worth it. Yeah, you know what? Oh, you know what, Erin? Let me see what I have left over. Have you bought it all? Because I have parts of it. I remember the books. I'm like, ugh, let me just give this to somebody. And I wish I had kept the books, but I do have the CDs. Let's see. It's 100% worth it for the SSS. I did buy the DVDs though, so I could reuse it for my younger two when they are ready. Okay. More Than Homemaking. Our big spender here. Very good tip for teaching lower elementary ages. Focusing on reading, writing, and math for those ages sets the foundation for learning. Absolutely. Don't skimp on that. The thing is, hey, rather to do just a little bit than nothing at all. And then, you know, you just do a little bit more and a little bit more, but you're still building that routine and you're building that stamina, right? You want to get that stamina up to they're used to doing this, and then they can do more. Okay, so we don't want to have gap days. She has amazing packets. Maybe that's Stacy Lloyd they're talking about. Why not get the older version for cheap off of eBay? Then you can still do it. Okay. I'm not convinced the old version is terrible. Okay, you guys are talking amongst yourself about IEW. Okay, more IEW, I think. Y'all need to make a video on IEW. So Samantha, Erin, y'all get together, do a collab, and talk about IEW. Let's see. That's still IEW, I think. Precious Turquoise, you're welcome. See, that's why I love this chat. That's why I've been on here for almost 2 hours, because you ladies, and there's usually a male lurker in here, you ladies come up with some really great ideas, and it helps me out a lot. Okay. Yes, I need something. Yes, I need something, this guide for a curriculum. All right, we're gonna get you there. Do you have any recommendations on literature books that have also movies to be able to do the comparison? Girl, everything I do has a movie comparison. I mean, a movie component to it, or a TV drama or something like that. Yes. I guess that's another video. And you know what? I'm going to make these lives, but I'm going to make them shorter. That way I can just get the information out to you guys. Lit books with movies. Because you guys are asking some really great questions. Yeah, that's a must for me. That's a must. I won't touch the book. I'm like, well, we'll do that in 4 or 5 years, but we're not doing it now. I need a book. I mean, I need a movie. Please do an Evan Moore collection flip through and how you use them. Actually, I did that when I was California homeschool mom. But my audio sucked because I was like really new to doing YouTube. And in my camera, I had like a Canon. I do everything like on my phone or on a webcam now because I have fancy cameras. I don't use them. It was like it kept auto focusing and you can hear it refocusing. So I have like 20 videos that are crap. All right, what is that one? Evan Moore collection. Evan Moore was one of them. So I do need to do another one. So yes. Evan Moore, if y'all watching, y'all need to get in touch with me because I show y'all lots of love. All right, I think I'm getting caught up with the comments. I didn't like Student Intensive, but I love the new SSS. Okay, we're still talking about that. And, oh, I lied. Okay, hold on, guys. Okay, I remember your video that said Evan Moore was the girlfriend that wasn't flashy, but knows how to make home-cooked meal and was ever faithful. That is by Evan Moore. Yes, yes, she is very faithful. And she will put up with anything, and she's not going anywhere. Yes, girl. Oh, you remember. Oh, I'm happy. Okay, let's see. Yes, you see that I need some help with all this mistakes in my writing. Girl, you are good. Hey, baby. You need something? I'm almost done. Huh? Your screen time is up, as it should be. Bye. Bye-bye. Okay. Close the door. Not finesse me. My just want to let you know my screen time is up today. Like I'm gonna give you more screen time. Bye. Boy gone. Okay. Oh, that's right, Lavonda. Yes, Lavonda. Okay, I got it now. I will not forget that. Okay, you give me so much good information. Your literature recommendations are always a hit with my family. Just wanted to bless you. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me, guys. That will pay. That $20 will pay for this subscription I have with StreamYard to stream for you guys. It's like $20 a month. That will pay for next month. So thank you so much. Okay. What are you doing for business and finance? Also, you promised videos, I know, on how to homeschool like an elite private school and warrior mind books. Girl, I'm trolling your channel for this. Okay, listen. Okay, you'll be so proud of me. I got intel for the private elite. I was just on Philip Exeter's website. No, but a cached website from a forum post. Remember I was talking about the reading and the literature and composition. And so I was like, okay, I know a lot of the top schools, they use the Harkness method. Just Google that. And other things that they use that they work. So they're consistently used across these very expensive boarding schools, elite Eastern Seaboard boarding schools. So I was on Philip Exeter, EXETER school. And it was the upper school. And they were showing what they showed, the resources that they use for high school, and then they showed what was it? I forgot. Okay, what? Here, hold on. I have it bookmarked. Hope y'all can't see my stuff. Phillips. So anyway, so they were talking about I have 500 tabs open. So anyway, so that's coming because I was looking at that and I was looking at how they approach literature and composition and math. And with math, I was more kind of focused on the math, actually on the science, because I've been looking at for science, the physics first approach. And a lot of those private schools, they have a physics first approach. Most schools start with chemistry, biology, and then they wrap up with physics because a lot of students, their math, like they don't have algebra 1 when they start 9th grade, so they don't do the physics. So but with the more top elite schools, those kids, they're on it. So they do it's called physics first curriculum, and a lot of like the Physics Teachers Association and top colleges, like deans from like the College of Engineering and all those kind of people and things like that, they really would like a physics first type of program, either starting with conceptual physics where you don't really use a lot of math, you're really learning the theories and the whys of physics, and then you take physics again with the math, and by then you're doing like calculus based physics. But so that's what I was looking at on the Phillips site, the Phillips Exeter Academy. And then I was getting into what they did for the lit and composition. It was a lot of the Harkness method, other things were just your basic Socratic method. But that's how they were able to get through a lot of these classics. So I'm on that. I'm just gathering more stuff to make it really juicy. And so I can start seeing patterns that we can emulate. So I have not forgotten about that. I'm going to screen shoot that question because I have not forgotten. And for the warrior mindset, that's the curriculum that I've been working on, but it's just been a little kind of slow going because my kids, the history kind of took over. And so I haven't really been able to sit down and really, test everything on them. So it's all in the works. It's all in the works. Trust me. And then what was the other thing that I'm not delivering? Let's see. Oh, business and finance. Okay. So I talked a little bit about cryptocurrency, I think last week, I'm not sure, but yeah, so I did find out how to get a demo account for TD Ameritrade, so I can walk you guys through opening up a brokerage account for your child and for you. And then I'm going to have a video on how to do one for Coinbase as well if you're into cryptocurrency. As a matter of fact, Coinbase just announced today their S1, their basically their IPO, so they're going public in the near future, like in the next couple of months. So that's definitely something you want to get on, because Coinbase is just an exchange where you go and buy and sell and trade cryptocurrency, like your Bitcoins, Ethereum, things like that. So, but my kids, one reason why I haven't done a lot of videos is because I'm teaching all this to my kids, and they actually have a class with a very reputable coach that has a course that I pay monthly for, and it's amazing. So we're knee deep in that, and so it takes a lot of time because you have to do a lot of research, not just on the companies for the stocks. Right now we're focused on the EV market and what that entails, not just the cars, but the pieces that come together for the cars, like, the batteries. The batteries is the main thing. So we're looking at companies who are making the batteries, things like that. And then on the crypto side, they have to, there's a lot of knowledge, not just on the different tokens and the coins, but it's how do you determine what makes a good project. So when they look at a coin or a token, say a Bitcoin, Ethereum, a polka dot, whatever, we have to go look at, okay, what is this company about? We have to do the education on that. And so, they're learning about blockchain, and they're learning about DeFi, decentralized finance. So all of those things. So the videos are kind of slow because we're knee deep in that, because when they started, like they all have hard wallets. They have cold wallets, excuse me. They all have ledgers. And when they saw their crypto, like their accounts, they're believers. So they got a little whiff. And so they want to, do more and more about it. And so I'm really seeing that male testosterone, like that, I want to conquer, which I love, but I just been like feeding that fire. So I haven't really put out that much videos, but it's coming. I'll probably just do lives. Now, my oldest son said that he would charge me $50 to do a video, to be on, to actually like collab and just talk about his experiences. Although he said he didn't know that much, but he could like talk to like his people, like, people his age. But he felt he knew enough to talk to them. So we're talking about that. I have him on the payroll. So, it's coming. Just give your girl a little bit more time. Okay. Let's see. Okay. More IEW. Victoria, when you decide to offer homeschooling consulting services, please let me know. I'll be your first client, and I'm bringing friends. Actually, I do have consulting services on my website. For some reason, I was having so many issues with my payment gateway, Stripe, and so I was very frustrated with that. So yeah, I definitely need to go and rehire the guy who initially did the paywall. Well, he did it for my drop shipping sites. So I need to go ahead and get him to do it for my website. But yes, I will have that up because that's money. And then I get to help you guys, and I get to answer your questions that are more nuanced, and that would be really wonderful, instead of me just popping out little answers off the top of my head. Okay, Erin, you're going to make me think about writing and rhetoric fables for my younger ones. Girl, you need to do it. Look, we talk on the phone later on, but yes, let me tell you, Erin, I was so impressed with it that I think Colin was in 7th grade. I took my 7th grader and I boomeranged his butt to the first book, which is for grades 3rd and 4th, because the foundation is amazing. My son was making connections. Everything he was hearing on the news or someone talking, he was relating it to what he was doing in writing and rhetoric with those fables, that you do a lot of critical thinking. And so I was like, oh my God. And I was just like, throwing out questions, and we were having discussions, and it was translating into the writing. Although the writing was coming. So, and there's no stopping him now. So I loved it. Just don't do book 4. Maybe it won't be bad because they still love school, and I can start them from the beginning. Yes, there is no shame. Remember, we made the curriculum work for us. So I had no problem taking my 7th grader and putting him in with a book that is geared toward 3rd and 4th graders. He didn't care. He's like, oh, I like it. So I'm like, boom, we're good. I'm thinking of getting the Evermore toolbox next year. Ooh, what's the toolbox? Hold on. I never heard of the Evermore toolbox. What is that? Y'all don't give me any ideas. Evan, more toolbox. I'm gonna look that up. All right, but don't answer, y'all, because I need to get out of here. Let me see. Oh yeah, I want the elite private school video as well. I remember that from a previous slide. Yeah. So so the reason why it was actually a teacher he was a physics teacher, and he was looking at East Coast schools. He was looking at their programs because he wanted to teach physics first, but his school was like, ain't happening. He was like, we're sending these kids off to these colleges, and these colleges really they want a certain kind of sequence because there's a reason for the sequence. But unfortunately, the math skills in this country, the kids aren't rising up to that level, for a lot of reasons. So they're just not taking physics first. So he went and he was like looking at cache sites because some of the schools, they took down their sites. I mean, their school sites or the class sites. And so he found them and he was like, okay, cool. So that's what I was doing. So I got a lot of intel. I just have to synthesize it and then put it together so I can give it to you guys. No, it's the Harkness method. I know I need to start speaking slowly because I clip a lot of my words. But plus I'm from the South too. But Harkness, Harkness. It's just look it up. It's a method of teaching, and it's you normally find it in private schools, definitely religious private schools, your top tiers, and your elite Eastern Seaboard boarding schools. Yes, Harkness method. Hey, Jamila Greer. Oh, Jamila is our resident scientist. You guys ask her about the physics first curriculum and the push to move physics first, because these top schools, they do physics first. Okay, you've given me some research for the weekend. Oh, good. I want everybody busy this weekend. If I got to be busy, y'all need to be busy. Hi, ladies. New follower and have binge watched your channel. Love all this amazing information. Thank you. Well, welcome, Anja. I hope I'm saying that right. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. These ladies have a lot of information for you guys. We also need your take on strategies for competitive strategic transcripts. Okay, I'm not the best person to ask right now because I'm learning as I'm going. Right now I tell people to go to either Pam Barnhill or Shaun, Shaun, the homeschooling guru. She has IG account, Shaun, Shaun, the homeschooling guru. She also has a YouTube channel. You guys go and check out her YouTube channel and subscribe, because she has a lot of subscribers on IG and Facebook, but she just started her YouTube channel, I think this year or late last year. So go over there and get her number count up. But she's a wealth of information. My Busy Bees and Me's, Erica, these are moms who have kids in college. They've homeschooled through high school, so they know the deal. I'm learning. So give me, actually, I got my stuff on point, but I would feel more comfortable just having more time to marinate in it before I share it with you. But what I can do is just show you what I'm doing, and then we can kind of learn as we go along. But so that's what I would do. I would just say, hey, this is working for me right now. We're using this descriptive type of transcript or chronological type of transcript or whatever. This is how we put it together. This is how I write the description for the classes, all of that stuff. So if you just want to see, my bootleg version of what I'm doing, then that's something we could do in the future. Okay, let's see. Y'all, I got to get out of here. This is my first year homeschooling, and I'm planning to use a Becca Phonics book and Evan Moore for reading comprehension and writing next year. Can that work? Yes. Becca is no joke. Becca, I find the religious-based curriculum, especially for the language arts, their stuff is kind of second, my opinion, but I found their stuff is second to none. You're gonna learn that stuff by hook or by crook. So Becca, you can't go wrong with phonics. I do use All About Spelling. It is a phonics-based program, all about reading, all about spelling. It's all phonics-based. So I'm not that familiar with Becca. I haven't looked through the curriculum, but I've heard lots of people who do like Becca Phonics. Evan Moore for reading comprehension. Yep, I've used that. And writing next year. you're using Evermore for reading and writing, let me know, because the writing, I think it's just the 6 traits that Evermore has. But yeah, that's and what's the grade or the age of your child? Yeah, that can work. You get your phonics in, you get your reading in. I'm not sure what you're doing for writing. If it's Evermore, I've only known there's 6 traits, but they could have regular writing. I haven't seen it, but for if your child is doing phonics, you can be really light on writing. So Coinbase, is that what she said? Yes, ma'am. Coinbase, it is an exchange to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency, like your Bitcoins, your Litecoin, your Ethereum, all of that good stuff, tokens and coins. And it's COINBASE. I found this great channel on her for math. It broke down the sequence that elite private schools have their kids on. I was blown away. The channel is called Think Academy. I haven't heard of that. I got to check that out. Guys, how do I keep losing my pencil? Hold on. What? Who took my pencil? Hold on. Because I lost all my pens. All right. So what is it called? Think Academy. Is that on YouTube, Aaron? Think Academy. Or I'll find it. And I'll report back with the intel. Are there any ways to join state testing or some sort of testing for homeschoolers? I might be interested to do some sort of testing once a year just to keep myself accountable. There are like 3 tests that I know a lot of homeschoolers use. One is the Iowa something. Just put an Iowa test or state test or something, but homeschoolers can take it. So Iowa 1, the Stanford 10 or Stanford 1. It's like a Stanford and a number. Just put Stanford test. And then I think Aaron knows these tests. I forget the 3rd one. Aaron, you actually gave me a resource for testing a long time ago. I can't remember the others. Well, there's quite a few out there. And they're very legit. And I don't know how things are with COVID, but I know with one of them, you can do it from your home. Yeah, but there's, but to join, you just pay. There's no joining or anything. You just pay and go through the process that they ask for. And then you're ready for test day. But you also have, you have lots of other programs where you can do like benchmark assessments just to kind of see where your child is. Some of it is adaptive. The testing is like adaptive, and that would be excuse me, I want to say MAPS, but is it MAPS? Because MAPS I think is adaptive, meaning when you're taking the test, if you get something wrong, it kind of drops back to a different level of difficulty. If you get it right, the difficulty level increases. But I'm not big on testing. I don't do it really. So, but I do know I did do Stanford testing with my oldest, Stanford 10, I think. But yeah, you got the Iowa, the Stanford. I know some of you guys have done them. So look at the chat. They can definitely give you more. California. I didn't know about does California have one that homeschoolers can take? Because the ones I'm talking about, like lots of homeschoolers use them, and the test makers are homeschool friendly as well. But I can get more information on that if you're really into that. I bought Boyce Watkins' Black Millionaires of Tomorrow. Yeah, I bought that a couple of years ago for my nephew. He's 10 and still asks about when we can do the next level. Very comprehensive. Yes, we did Black Millionaires of Tomorrow, and it's a lifetime. I don't know if he still offers it. It's a lifetime subscription. Actually, when we first bought our first shares in GameStop about 3 or 4 years ago, we did it because we were doing Boyce Watkins' Black Millionaires of Tomorrow. So yeah, good program. We didn't finish it all. We just kind of, I don't know why we didn't finish it, but I do have a lifetime access to it. So I guess we should pull it up. But yes, Boyce and his flashcards. Boyce Watkins. I should do a review on that. Okay, let's see. I ordered our Iowa basic skills and Stanford 10. Thank you. I ordered our Iowa Basic Skills and Stanford 10 online testing through Seton Testing Service. Yes, Seton Testing is a big, company that will help facilitate you being able to get those tests purchased and stuff. So yeah, so Aaron just answered you, Anja. You can also check your state homeschool association website for suggestions that people might use locally. Yes, I'm thinking Homeschool Legal Defense Association might have some resources. HS Homeschool Legal hslda.org. Might want to try that too, Anja. I need to do a homeschool 101 so I can go over. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do more than 2 videos a week to get all this content out. Okay, let's see. Stephanie, yes, both reading and writing 6 traits they will be in 7th and 2nd grade. Okay. So the reading and 6 traits, I forgot what your original question was. But I think you said like for the 2nd, you're doing Becca, phonics, Evan Moore, reading and writing. Okay. Now the thing with the 6 traits, that is a supplement. It's good to, for 2nd grade, actually, that's enough for 2nd grade. Although 6 traits is a supplement. But I think for 2nd grade, it's actually, I would actually, like, if I had to do it all over again, I would probably start with the 6 traits because you can have them do the writing based off of it. But in the meantime, you're playing the songs, they're learning they're learning those concrete terms. So how to look at writing, that's the most important thing. You're looking at, they're getting examples of what poor, good, and best writing looks like. And it takes one sample and it shows you that sample 3 different ways. So now things start to make sense to your kids. So they'll start to see that a poor sample has no adjectives, the verbs don't agree with the subject. For the best, you have adjectives, adverbs, the sentence, the structure. They'll see that starting a sentence with I is a poor example. But with the best example, you'll have, how you start your sentences. So they'll start to have tangible resources and ideals and tools to determine what makes the writing, this versus that. Okay, Think Academy is on YouTube. Okay, I'll check that out. Oh, that's my husband asking if I'm all done. Okay, I told him I was only going to be on for an hour because I had Chewy. Hold on, let me text him. All right, I'm going to wrap it up in 10 minutes. Almost. Okay, hold on. Okay. Question for the weekend. Are there websites where homeschool parents can group together to get resources like for Adobe Photoshop? I would try Homeschool Buyers Co-op. For Adobe Photo, now for a lot of cases, like I have an Adobe subscription. So when I give you guys printables, I make them as a PDF file and then I secure the files. So, you can't lift the images and things like that. Basically, you can't just copy it. And I pay monthly for that. And, but if I were to pay as just a regular person, it's a lot higher fee. For a lot of cases, they do have a homeschool option. You just have to show them either an email that ends in edu, which I use my college one, but you can always get an edu email. That might be for like a private conversation. But usually all you have to do is like show like a student or a teacher ID card, which watch my video. It says teacher ID card, get you a teacher ID card because you can use that to get discounts off of those kinds of services. Or alternately, you can go onto some of those homeschool groups, those forums, and ask that. And then chances are you can find a couple of people to go in, or someone's already done it, or they might have an upcoming buy and they want people to jump in. So your best bet is, go join those Facebook groups and then post your question in there, or just do a Google search because, yeah, I'm sure a lot of people will get together to get that discount. But also, if you don't want to go that route, look for the homeschool option. If you don't see one, then just email them. A lot of times they'll respond, especially if you want to do a little research. Find especially because these are big companies, you want to email the public relations or human resource, but preferably the public relations department. So just go look, quick Google search, say if it's Adobe Public Relations, find out who the head, find the name there, and then call them or email them. Hey, so-and-so has an option for homeschoolers. Why don't you? I know a lot of moms who've been asking about buying your service. Can you get us, a price for homeschoolers? And what would we have to show to get that, discounted price? So I've done that before. I've also done diagnostic tests for reading and math. Yes, the Dora. Yeah, let me take a picture of that because I want to do a video on that. Erin's giving you guys some good game. Okay. So there are other kinds of testing that you can do. The diagnostic is good for seeing if your child has any gaps, any holes in the learning, and it's a great place to start so you can decide what curriculum you want to use or how, or if you want to determine the pacing for your curriculum. Okay. If you find your child is really strong in a lot of stuff and you weren't expecting that, you're like, okay, well, we might finish this book in a semester versus a year or vice versa. Okay. Akiba Mays. Oh, I love her and her sister. Akiba Mays on YouTube was a former public school teacher and names all of the tests in her videos. Yeah, her child, like I just watched her video the other day. She has a 4-year-old daughter. I think her daughter read like 200 or 400 sight words, and then she like read a book, like this long, crazy, like 500-page book or something like that. Yeah, she's amazing. She tests to ensure her kids are among the top tier compared to elite private school students. Yes, Akiba, and I think she's working on her PhD right now. She is no joke. You should check her out on YouTube, guys. Akiba Mays. Her sister, she's the sister to, I forget her sister's name, but her sister's married to a Korean guy. They have like 10, or they have a lot of kids. That's kind of like what they're known for. And they have a really huge channel. Akiba is her sister. Okay, I'm going to skip some of these. Yes, don't sleep on Akiba. I'm sure her daughter will be president one day. Kamala better watch out. My daughter got access to the Adobe Suites through dual enrollment. Oh, yes. If your children are doing dual enrollment with a college, that's a student. That's an email you can use. Okay, I think I'm caught up with the comments. Yes, homeschool moms also qualify for a black card at the library. I haven't heard of a black card. Is that for all libraries? Is that some kind of secret code? Black cards. I need to look that up. Black cards at libraries. You guys are giving me, I have written so much down from you guys. Okay. You can pull 100 books at a time and have a much longer period of use for the books you checked out. You also get priority. What? How have I not known about that? I'm on first name basis with my librarians. Heifers. Trying to hold back on me. I'm going to look that up. That's amazing, guys. Everyone go look up Black Card and see if your library is participating in that. I'm about to call, she got an old school name. It's like Margaret. It's like a double name too, like Margaret Ann, or I think it's Sheila Ann. I don't know. It's country. Okay. Let's see. You're amazing. Thank you for all the info. Many blessings to you. Oh, thank you, Victoria. And we are going to get out of here. It is 2 hours and 18 minutes. That means I have to timestamp this long video. So I'm getting out of here. I'm not reading any more comments after Aaron's. Our library system calls them educator cards. Okay, hold on. Educator cards. Here we go. Educator cards. See? You learn something new every day. You just show your declaration of intent letter to get one as a homeschooler. What's declaration of intent? To homeschool, or declaration of intent to get you a card? Well, I'll find that out. All right. Last two. You have to show proof from your school district. I'm the queen of getting around rules. I'll find out. Okay. Correct, Aaron. Okay, we're caught up with the comments. Guys, this is so much fun. This was so much fun. Thank you for all of your amazing insights and your wisdom. I don't know it all. I'll be the first to tell you. I forget stuff. I don't know stuff. I try not to give you incorrect information. But I definitely like it because I have ladies on here who know their stuff, and I'm really pleased. I still am asking if you guys would like to come on for my lives. Just DM me through IG, or you can email me at Nikki, Niki at thathomeschoollife.com. That's usually my description box, but I'm live, so I don't have it up just yet. Yeah, just email me with your email, because I have to send an invite for you to come on to the live, and I think it's email. I'll double check, but I think it's an email I have to send you. And if you want to come on and talk, I don't want to be talking all by myself the whole time. I'd rather just be sitting like this. Yeah, girl, really? Go on, go deeper. I'd rather just sit here and relax and let y'all talk. And then I can just take my notes, sip whatever I'm sipping, and enjoy the show. So if you guys want to come on, don't be scared. You can be on for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, the whole time, doesn't matter. Just shoot me a DM or an email. All right, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Please give me a like, because that helps to push this video up so other people can see it. That really helps me out. And I'm going to get out of here. Who is asking me a question? Who is this? Is this you, Anja? Okay, good. It was just a smiley face. All right, I'll accept the smiley face. But yeah, so yeah, like, share, subscribe. I'm going to go live. I have no choice with all these questions y'all are asking. So I'll go live sometime this weekend. I'm not going to tell you what time now, but I will give you at least an hour's notice before I do go live. And I'm going to be answering some of these questions and stuff that you guys were asking me. Okay, so have a wonderful Friday. And I will see you guys tomorrow or Sunday. And for Lavonda, thank you so much for my very first super chat. I'm excited. And I love you guys. Bye-bye. Oh, don't forget, I do have my homeschool planner checklist, routine checklist down in the description box. That will be changing soon once I find some time to go ahead and pull another resource and then secure it and then put it on my website. I mean, in my description box. So get your free one while you can. All right, I'm out of here. Bye-bye.